Hi guys, welcome back. Wow, what an embarrassing game between Newcastle and Barcelona. Like honestly speaking, when I watched the first half, I was really entertained with the way both teams play. They both exploit their weaknesses, and the first half was extremely interesting, right? Extremely interesting. And I'll just give you some breakdown of what happened in the first half. The first half, how Newcastle started that game was they play a lot of long balls, just to disrupt Barcelona's flow. And they were largely successful in the first half. They were largely successful, and their own weakness, on the other hand, is their mid block, right? Is their mid block, and Barcelona exploit it to their own advantage, because if you give Barcelona all the ball possession, you understand they will hurt you. There's no way about it. There's no two way around it. They will definitely hurt you, right? And they use it to their advantage. They got two beautiful goals, one from a penalty, and another one from one from Raphinha, and the other one as a set piece goal, which I think it's really an outstanding performance. And again, from Barcelona's point of view, their major weakness is just their defensive high line, right? And Newcastle exploit it as well. They got two brilliant goals through Antonio Elanga in the 15th minute and in the 28th minute, which I think they did really well to study Barcelona's weakness. However, that didn't last long in the second half, because they conceded 5 in the second half. 5. And they were heavily thumped by Barcelona. And I have to say, like, the supposed Premier League standards is nowhere to be seen from some certain teams in the Champions League. It is nowhere to be seen. And I've been seeing some level of excuses about the schedule of the Premier League, and how Premier League teams are playing a far more greater opponent in the league, and other leagues are playing subpar teams, which I think is basically flimsy excuse from my own point of view. That is a flimsy excuse, right? And I think I saw a post about the French Ligue 1 postponing some of Ligue 1 matches because PSG are having Champions League match. Do you understand? Because of Champions League games, they postpone some of their games just to make sure like they perform up to their optimal standard, right? What is stopping the Premier League from implementing such? And now you come out, you say because they are playing some kind of, every other team in the Champions League are playing 2-3 like competitions, right? They are playing 2-3 competitions at the stretch. So saying giving all that kind of excuses doesn't work well with me, and it will never work for me from my own point of view. I just believe and I think that some of these teams are below average. They are below average, and the reason why they excel in the league phase is just the fact that every other team that they are being paired with, some of them are elite teams, right? They are elite teams, but that grit that you need to carry on in the knockout phase isn't there, and we just have to tell ourselves the truth. And now look at this now. Chelsea have been thumped 8-2. They have been thumped 8-2. Manchester City against Real Madrid, they are seriously beaten 5-1. And as well Newcastle, they played 1-1 in the reverse fixture in England, and they came to Camp Nou to be beaten 7-2. That is horrible from my point of view. Horrible performance, right? It is horrible. And I do not know the reason why Eddie Howe didn't allow its team to stick to how they played in the first half, because when you look at how they played in the second half, they came all out against Barcelona, right? Leaving them exposed in behind on high press. And I think if they had stayed, and they had managed the way they managed the first half, maybe things might have gone better for them. From my point of view, I think it is really embarrassing from all these Premier League, some of these Premier League teams. Let me say that. And now the only thing the teams that are saving the face of the Premier League is Liverpool and Arsenal. Now, because Liverpool are now winning 4-0 against Galatasaray. So I think these are just the only teams that are doing well against all these elite teams in the Champions League knockout phase, right? Honestly speaking, there is absolutely nothing to analyze from that game except that embarrassment of a show from Newcastle against Barcelona, right? But well, it is what it is. It is expected that Newcastle aren't going to survive against Barcelona, but conceding that kind of goal is too much. Is too much. Well, these are just my own thoughts, my own opinion about the game. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Let me know what you think about it, and I'll see you in another one. Bye for now.